Welcome to Manbitesmedia's journey and adventure into the lands of comics and movies. Join us today as we explore the worlds of fandoms, as we navigate through the converted concrete jungles, and find amazing fans of all our favorite movies and TV shows. Join us on the road of convention life.
Hello, Diversely Geek and Manbitesmedia fans! This is the team, and we are all here together with William Phoenix, Louis Lacow, Nisha Amir Geek Mom, aka and Nisha T. Molchan, Joe T. Ramdat from Diversely Geek, and a lot of amazing people. Y'all want to give a real quick shout out? Say hey.
Hey,
You can give us your names. That would be amazing.
I'm Lizzie.
Astrid.
Aaron, Jonathan.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so we have lots of guests joining us that were here with us for different points of the convention. So
Some
lots
are
of
newbies.
fun.
Some are
Yeah,
newbies.
definitely.
Yeah,
Any first timers?
Yeah, one.
There you go.
I've only watched the podcast twice.
Oh, we got two.
Well,
Two
it's
first timers.
It's my first.
All right.
con,
Isn't that
but
the most
I cannot-
amazing thing?
It's
when
your
we
first
are here?
convention, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's my first
Virgin.
convention.
So we have an actual real first timer here.
No, two. We got another one.
We
First.
have two.
First Megacon.
First
Okay,
Megacon. No,
okay.
he's
I've been
experienced in
to
Puerto
conventions,
Rico.
Yeah.
But you're a first-time con goer at all, right, John?
No, we have a first timer, first convention.
This
ever.
is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Don't pick on me.
Not to put you in the
Shiny,
spot, but
shiny,
first
shiny.
timer.
No.
So, obviously we're here at
No.
Megacon 2019 doing our wrap-up of our, post-con experience. We're going to talk about lots of different things that we usually do, which is our favorites, things to improve on, things that we enjoyed most in terms of experiences, and then also artworks, great finds. So, as you can see, there's obviously stuff on the table here. That's because Mr. Louis Cow over here
I can't help myself.
couldn't
He
help
went-
himself.
Oh, and you don't know how much is still under here. Okay, just say it. Just
Yeah.
saying.
But they're beautiful pieces, and that's one of the great things about Megacon is that when you come out here, you actually enjoy all these artists and all their renditions and their visual aspects of what they want to grab from the fandoms and make it their own, which is so interesting. Like some of these artworks, the detail on them is excellent.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
And every time I come to a con, it's so hard to not buy everything.
I know, right?
Do you have
It's
the
like-
Iron Man one down there?
Yes, I do.
He does. He has
Let's-
it covered.
let's-
No, you cannot see it. I'm sorry.
Why don't we start out with
Which that is
what do?
I'll hold it.
See
I'll
it
hold
down
That
so
is
the
meant
world
for him,
sees
right?
it.
So I'll hold it.
Oh no! I want to improve the table.
No. We're doing something. Stop
Children.
jumping.
So what do we all think? I think we can start out with obviously Megacon's had some changes back and forth each year. Now for any of us who have been here previously to Megacon, what do we think about this year specifically, the setup, the layout and things that we liked about it and things that we maybe could have we think maybe could have been done differently or changed kind of maybe how it was done in the past.
And it's open forum. I have so much to say.
Okay,
to that.
you guys want to start down?
No, y'all
Obviously,
first, the professionals first.
Constructive
Constructive.
criticism. Nothing to tear anyone down here.
I think the flow was well done. The way that the lines moved were very well done. The way that they organized this con when it came to the lines, it was very much, there wasn't long lines to get into the con, which was saying
Oh, you mean
a
outside.
lot.
Gotcha.
For a Saturday night, as Saturday during the day, as many people that came, we didn't wait out there maybe 15-20 minutes, which was very impressive. And then
On
as soon as
walking
we got
in,
in,
entrance?
yeah,
Yeah, he's talking about
I mean,
entrance.
with the exception of the bag check that William had to endure for like a good 20-30 minutes.
Saturday morning at
Saturday
Megacon,
was crazy.
2 people doing prop checks. The line, as soon as you walked in from outside, the line for prop checks started right there.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. I just walked right in.
It took
you
longer
didn't
to
have
get my
a
prop
prop.
check than anything else. Than
I had a
No,
key.
I mean, like, there was no line. I just walked in.
So
Yeah.
then the experience was a little bit different for us because we just walked straight in because we had that pre-check. They had the RFID codes this time, so because we had pre-checked, we could just easily walk straight in. There was no having to check outside for us. What was different is we had to get our disability tags this time, and that was a
I will say,
much more difficult
constructive
thing than it's
criticism.
been.
Nobody knew.
ADA.
Oh my
It
god.
was an adventure finding.
The whole ADA experience definitely not on par with years past
It has,
whatsoever. Honestly, it was basically like there was none. The only upside this year was that there was that complimentary companion pass with having an ADA sticker, but otherwise that was it. There was pretty much nothing else.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the staff didn't really know, so that's okay. I mean, they'll learn hopefully for the next
Yeah,
time.
I mean, in years past, it has been better.
Yeah.
Now, I know that the outside experience, like walking around and in and out, that
Anybody
was
else?
something that wasn't exactly very...
Well, okay.
Okay, here you go.
I've been going for years
got
and
Chewy.
years and years and years because I've lived here all my life, and this is like my 12th or 14th.
She's our
Megacon.
seasoned veteran. Woo!
Not only fifth year of going the entire event from all 4 days.
All 4 days, gotcha.
But
You're old.
yeah, I'm so old. I'm older than anybody here. Okay, so
Nope, not older than me. Remember,
That's
we're
right,
the
we
same
keep
age.
saying that,
You and I are totally
you just
on par.
look too young. So actually, I was later than I wanted to be on Thursday because I picked up my premium pass, and because I didn't get here till like 2:30. There was like no
girl.
line actually because everybody that was here that could get in at 2
Was here,
So
yeah.
I have no idea how that process would have been. I just came right in, just went right in. Everything I did was just bam, bam, bam. I was like, thank you. But the whole scanning thing was weird, and people were really bothered by the fact that they had to be scanned every time they come in and out. And someone even mentioned that, yeah, our passes went up like $10 or something like. That's probably where that money went.
It's
was
the
in
RFID
for them
process,
checking
yeah.
you coming in and out.
So it's not a new convention experience doing the scanning, because San Diego Comic-Con does
Yeah.
it. But I
New
will
York
say...
Comic-Con.
New York Comic-Con as
does it,
well.
but it's very different and much more efficient.
But the
for
website
those.
worked much quicker to when I purchased my pass like months ago.
Yeah,
it was
it was
quick.
very-
It was waiting on me, not the other way around. And then I'll get to the ticket thing in a minute, but I had to buy a ticket while I was here for a show, and I did that like I got through right away. I was like, sweet, it worked. So, and the app was working, and I have like a Samsung 9, but I have a phone now that actually gets service in the building, so that's been an upgrade.
There was so much more service this year.
Yeah.
So much reception.
And then I
There were
actually
some
didn't
dead
get it
spots,
on the
but
floor
overall it was
sometimes, and I'd be shocked. I forgot how this is like. Last year was my first year I could get online and actually post something. This is the first year that I was online almost the entire
Yeah, you
time.
were.
Anytime I
You
wanted to
were.
be,
Yep.
I could get online
saw
if
you.
my battery would let me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Okay, so also, just saying, this has kind of been going around a little bit too. Obviously, this will be a
Side.
thing now. I've paid to see like a Kevin Smith show or like a special ticket at events in advance, and they did mention in advance at these, but I didn't pay attention that the panel for Back to the Future on Friday night was going to be. It's just a $20
paid
ticket,
only.
and I think people were trying to explain that to me. I'm not buying a package deal, so I don't need to worry about that. It's like, no, that's a ticket. I planned on seeing Linda Carter. I did not because I didn't factor it in, and I'm grounded. I'm not allowed to spend any money, and still $105 happened without being allowed at all. So go figure.
That's part of the con experience.
I did not buy the Linda Carter ticket, and I missed her. And that's obviously going to be a thing now, and I'm not happy about that. I'd
Agreed.
rather the pass just go up like $10 or $20 or whatever,
For the
but maybe not, because I go to Florida Film Fest every year, and when I was talking about it in the pass holder group with the people that were going to Megacon, they were saying, you know, y'all's passes kept getting another 100, and you didn't want them to be that much. We brought the prices back down and then charged $50 for the 2 celebrity events. Just like general guests would have to
Yeah,
pay,
makes sense.
your pass doesn't include those celebrity
Right.
events, so that you can make up your mind. Because maybe you don't want to go to those panels. You don't want the pass to go up in price. You want the choice. So I can understand that they want
Okay.
the choice, but to me, I'm just thinking, do not advertise who's going to be at the thing, and then
If-
like, oh, but you got to pay to see them, pay to see them, pay to see them. You're like, dude,
That makes sense.
Right,
I
right.
didn't think of it that way. I did have a qualm with that, but I didn't think of it as the well.
but it was only
otherwise
$20.
it would go up.
It's not that bad, but if
That's
it
true.
starts at only, think of what it's going to get to be. Like
Sometime
5
in the
years
future.
from now, they're going to be charging like $50-$60 to go see whoever the select. Don't advertise your main event, and your main event is an extra ticket, because there's all sorts of extra tickets in a package. Yeah, that's just my whiny complaint. That's like my biggest one.
I mean, I totally get where you're coming from, but and you ladies having gone to San Diego may be on the same boat
that's
as me.
yeah.
It's like having gone to New York Comic Con twice again and going again this year. To me, what they did at Megacon reflects very much how they do New York Comic Con, because they will have like their main guests and they will have all their celebrities. But then They will have also off-property,
Off-site.
like there's the Hulu
Yeah.
Theater, and some of them you have to pay to get in.
Yeah, off-site.
Some of them
Off-site,
it's still included, but like it's first come first serve, so you may end up spending half of your day just waiting in line
just waiting
to get
on
in
a
there
line
for
for
them to
something.
the panel.
Which I have to say, I do like that they kept it close enough still, at least.
They did because it's everything's like in the vicinity by New York standards. It's in the vicinity. I did like the passes over the bracelets this year because
Yes.
as cosplayers, we
Yes.
don't always have long sleeves. So I hate when I see like
gotta get your
pictures that I
wristband and
take,
wear
whether
it
it's
all week.
professional or just with friends, and we all have our if I do John Hammond and I got short sleeves, I gotta figure out a way to not have the little thing.
Yeah.
With the passes, I was able to incorporate, to hide it,
Yeah,
to
hide them
put it in my
somewhere.
pocket. I enjoyed it, and their RFID thing, having gone to New York, something that it's new here, but not new to me, and I liked it because
wasn't
again,
bad.
I think
There
eventually
wasn't a
they'll-
line to get out. There wasn't anything.
There
But how
wasn't.
about
They
you
were
guys that
very
this is
efficient.
your
They
didn't
first
have
any
experience with
issues.
Megacon?
So these two is their first experiences. They don't know any differently. So what did you think?
I've been in New York Comic Con the last 10 years.
Okay, so you like the best. So you know.
Yeah, I know about.
We knew already
They've
what
been
it would be
changing a lot of things here in the South. I want to like to say that because they copying New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah,
a
they
lot.
are.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's good. I mean, I like it. I was working actually. This is my first Megacon. I was working
You
here.
were cool.
So I'm cool. So I criticize
Exhibitor.
a little bit about the ticketing thing because people print the ticket, but they had to go to get the badge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
probably in the future they can do just scan the ticket and give it a wristband.
Part of that-
For me, they're gonna be awesome.
Part of that scanning, though, is like they would verify my name, Elizabeth, and I'd say yes. I'm like, and if I had loaned my pass to a dude,
It wouldn't
we
matter.
would have been
And
busted.
that's actually
so
why-
and they can ask you for your ID if they want
That
to.
is why they're
Yeah.
doing it. Just so
Yeah,
you know, it's exactly what
So
it
that's
is
why you don't
because
have to
people
do
with
the
badge
wristband
swapping so
anymore.
much.
Jonathan, I know it's your first convention ever, so
Yeah.
not really too much experience to go on in terms of
No,
a
that's it.
event.
And I only came on the Sunday with you guys, and I think we came when it opened.
Yeah,
right?
we
Yeah,
kept it
I feel
open.
But because it was the Sunday, the last day, I didn't find we had any real lines to wait in. We walked right in. I wouldn't have known any different if I'm scanning or not because I wasn't there before. But it was a really neat experience, and seeing some great actors and really awesome costumes and cosplayers and really cool buys that we all got. It was neat. I would have liked to see a little more Stitch, but that's a me thing.
Personal preference. So speaking of favorite finds and favorite experiences, what are we? I know we probably have all completely different experiences and
Thanks,
finds.
Saturday. I'm sorry, I'm just saying it was ridiculous, and I didn't even
My
get
Saturday
to see
was I've only been cosplaying for about a couple of years, and it's usually been very basic, very easy put together. One cosplay per day, and call it a day. Saturday, not only did I double up on my cosplays, I tripled up on my cosplays. I came in as Fat Thor, and then I brought Jacob Kowalski in a bag, and then I put Bane in Jacob Kowalski's suitcase. So I ended up going Thor, Kowalski, Bane, Kowalski, Bane, Kowalski.
That's how you did it.
That's how I did it.
Oh my god.
Because when I do Bane, it's like I do kind of like corporate Bane where he's got like the nice shirt and the tie and whatnot. So I wore the suspenders all day underneath Kowalski. So then when I took Kowalski's jacket off and his vest, I already had the suspenders on. I had to throw on the mask, or throw on the undermask, put on the gloves. I was Bane. I didn't bring the gun. I didn't bring my usual sign because I'm like, that's just too much stuff that I gotta bring.
It's a lot to
But
carry.
it was a lot of fun. I ended up being invited to a photo op with David Tennant and John Barrowman.
That's
and
you
as soon as
guys.
we walked in,
Oh my god, that was ridiculous.
Tennant looks, and I was the second one in line in my group, and the girl Brandy goes straight to Barrowman. Tennant sees the axe that I have, and he just gravitates to it, and I'm like, I can't tell. I'm not gonna tell the 10th Doctor no. He's like, he's my favorite Doctor. I'm not gonna tell him no. He's like, can I hold it? I'm like, yes, you can. Anything else you wanna hold?
That was yours. That was your experience minutes you gonna
What
tell
was
us?
great?
Oh
What
my
was great is
God.
like as soon as he took the picture, and he's like, okay, you guys can go. And I just looked at Tana and I went, but I don't want to go.
Did you say that?
I
Actually,
did, and
Oh,
he just
you
looked and he's
suck.
like, ah, and he walked away. Yes.
So we actually shared the same picture, and that's probably my favorite moment of the con was being dressed up like Alex from A Clockwork Orange with the penis mask and everything. And as soon as Barrowman saw me, he's like, "You're standing next to me," and he goes, "Where are you going to put that penis?" And I was like, "It's going in your ear. It's the only orifice that I could put it in without being explicit." And he's like, "Please do." And he just took the picture with the penis right in
Yes,
his
he
ear.
did.
And he was like, "I like your penis."
We have to we have to beep this out for all of our family-friendly viewers.
Why? There was no curse.
Yeah,
words.
exactly.
I'm
It's
just
not-
kidding. I am kidding.
But,
And
oh
it's
my
a
God.
Real
hilarious picture.
I could actually say that Barrowman
penis.
wanted my penis.
Which is not
That
enough
is
for a
awesome.
family-friendly word.
That's getting bleeped out.
What are
Again,
people gonna
you're
think?
saying it medically
Oh no,
correct,
you can leave
so
it to
it's
the
fine.
Manbitesmedia media side of it, but the DG will be like, okay, let me see. What does my communications director say?
I say it's the medically accurate term, so it's fine.
One thing that I absolutely love too is like having come to conventions already. I there's people that are here for the first times or the first Megacon or whatever, and also bringing friends to meet celebrities that I have never met before.
Yeah.
And I got to meet Dan Fogler back in New York Comic Con, and then he was here again this weekend.
Zach, oh yeah.
And my original Queenie, Seraphima, had not gotten to meet him yet. So she's the one that's like, "Can you?" This is why I brought Jacob, was for her.
Yeah.
So watching her, like I'm talking to Dan, but I'm like watching her, and like seeing this like first emotions and everything. And I will give her, she kept it together the entire time, which was great.
As soon
And
as she walked away.
the moment she steps away, 5 feet after, she's just loses it, completely loses it, which was great. But like always seeing like the reactions of not necessarily just celebrities, but just like cosplayers and friends and whatnot. It's like, to me, that's what makes experiences. To me, like a convention and memories.
Definitely agree.
That's it.
Because it's
It's like this
100%.
one, I had her the whole time with us as a friend, bringing her in. So for you, what was your? I feel like you had a lot of different moments.
Yeah,
but
you did.
what was your?
I was all over the place. I really liked the panel of Ross McIver because I really
was
love her,
cute.
and she's so adorable.
She was super
I just
sweet.
wanted to like take her and put her in my pocket. She was just so cute. But I love the series too, so I've been a fan for a
Yeah,
long time.
she was super cute. She was super teeny. I love her accent.
Yes.
She can't. She didn't understand how New Zealand's accent was voted sexiest accent in the world, and the panel, everyone in the panel was like,
Yes, it is.
yeah, and she's like, no. And we're like, and Aaron, your first MegaCon, what was the
nice.
moment?
I was working most of the time, but
I still got to walk around.
yeah, I still walk around. I enjoyed like every con I'm going, so it was good. I mean, I enjoy all the cosplayers. I do cosplay sometimes. So
Any one moment or cosplayer stand out to you?
I like Thanos and Batman, so yeah, it was nice to see a lot of Batmans and Thanos around here.
Thor's.
All the wrestlers.
Thor's, yeah.
Thor's ruled
We
this
agreed.
con, okay?
Thor's for the
They
win.
did.
We
I'm
agreed
just
our
saying.
first night that we said, okay, what's the one cosplay that's going to be
Thor.
like the well, not really cop out, but like the go-to, like how Harley Quinn was and
Fat Thor was the
Deadpool.
Harley Quinn of 2019.
Yep, exactly.
We did the Marvel photo
and
shoot.
people are mixing up. Are already mixing them up too.
The
'Cause,
different
there was a
versions of
fat
Thor.
Thanos walking around
Yeah.
for a couple of days too,
great.
which was great. He was dressed up as Fat Thor, but he put Thanos' head
Oh,
on,
that is too
which was
funny.
great. I'm like,
Because
all
he
right,
cut
they're
his
already,
head
they're already
off,
crossing
yeah.
I didn't see
everything.
that
That
one.
is great.
So I did the Harry Potter meetups for the photo shoots,
okay.
but I kept missing the Star Wars ones. I got lots of pictures with Star Wars people dressed up, but I didn't make the Star Wars photo shoot.
There was somebody
You
dressed
get
up
your
as
video,
Palpatine,
you know.
Did you
which
have
was
So they were
phenomenal.
against other
Really?
things that
I
were
would
happening
love
during
to have
panels
seen
or things
that.
like that. But
So wonderful.
because there's Central Florida Slug Club and all the different meetups, so they were meeting up at 3:15, and then the one that MegaCon had just put together was supposed to be at 3:30 on Friday and Saturday. So Friday I wore Slytherin outfit, like that uniform and the robe, and took the picture with everybody. And then Saturday I wore my porg apron, but behind it, my T-shirt was the Hogwarts Running Club T-shirt, so that I could kind of just take that off and real quick sort of whatever. But it wasn't about being in the picture; it was about getting to see everybody.
Everybody, right.
So that was cool, and that was. I had so many. Like, I don't have like one favorite moment because I have so many little favorite moments. But that was kind of cool because, and I know we've seen each other, but I don't give a shit. Every time it's like, all of y'all are like celebrities to me. Like, I can't wait to see so-and-so dressed as, da-da-da. You know, like I see you just working in the park and we're like, hey, whatever. But when you're dressed up, you know, Diego was Snape, and I'm like, hey, it's Snape, you know,
so
and
good.
Diane was Dumbledore, but then
Dumbledore.
she was also Elton John, which was so cool.
I miss seeing her.
Yeah.
That is
When they just
unbelievable.
Megacon
She made
even-
that thing.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
and
no,
I'm
I
sorry,
said
too.
that was
I was going to say after our shoot on Friday, it was supposed to be Marvel, and there were all these Marvel people just hanging out, and they ain't like Central Florida Slug Club, like they ain't got it together, like Harry Potter, let's do this. You know, they were all just nobody knows each other. They're like, who's in charge of this? I'm like, nobody's in charge of this. Y'all got to get together. So finally, I holler out, hey, all Marvel people, come take a picture. And they all kept thanking me like, oh, thank you for organizing. I'm like, I didn't organize shit. I love taking pictures of everybody.
You have your
Like,
delegated role for next year.
I guess. And then they all got together, and I took, you know how Facebook will only let you upload on mobile phone like 30 pictures at a time? I had to do 2 sets of pictures because I took so many pictures. I kept realizing there's another person, people were running in and jumping in a photo,
Yep.
and the very last one,
That was
the
our
very
experience
last
with Critical
one
Role.
was Thor, and the whole crowd said, "Oh my God, we can't take the photo without Fat Thor or New Thor or whatever." And he jumps in, and then everybody's got to get that photo again. I'm pretty sure people took the most pictures they ever took of one photo group. I got 2 photos of DC. I got 43 photos of Marvel. So that tells you.
Speaking of,
Even
the
at
photo
conventions, Marvel beats DC.
No, never.
Oh, sorry.
well, listen, Marvel.
You
didn't
know,
really
he
bring-
throws down like
Now-
that just to challenge me, but I
Do you
really
remember
a good
what you were going to
collective
say and
one
what
Not
she was
say
going to
anything.
say?
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
gonna bring
you
this
know
over
what?
on
Sorry.
over.
Look
No
what's in
worries.
front of you.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You talk big talk for Marvel, and of course I love Marvel.
No.
And cosplays for Marvel.
Woman, because I want you to take a shot.
Iron Man.
You are not putting that in front of a Balrog.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know, but
Ain't happening.
if you think about it, DC brought a lot this year. DC had their own booth. DC, I mean, technically Linda Carter, and then you
Marvel
had,
did
and then you had Batman. Batman, something that I don't think any of us
Marvel's
went
busy
to.
breaking $3 billion at the box office.
Yeah,
They
sitting
don't
in
need
an
to
office.
come and get extra money at conventions.
Oh, but I finally got to see Stephen Amell. Yay, finally. For me, that was a
I
first.
saw him in
Because I've
person.
seen Barrymore every time, and I've never gotten
I
to
know,
see
right?
Arrow, so I was like, yay.
I'm a huge
finally.
Arrow
nice to
fan.
everyone.
So,
Yeah.
oh my
So
God.
it was
Sweet
really
guy.
interesting, though. Honestly, to bring it back, but like you had Stephen Amell, you had John Barrowman, you had Linda Carter, you had
Yeah.
so many
an
people
all-star
from the
cast.
DC side. But then you had something
Sakura
that none of
Levy
us
just signed.
something that none of us went to. Also, was the Batman celebration. And
I tried
that
so
was a
hard to
big
run to
landmark.
that,
You have
man.
comic book artists
80
and writers for
years.
80 years.
80
all
That's probably
together.
going to be huge at New York because it's going to be right around it. Because I think it's in September that he actually turns
Yep.
80. I think it's going to be huge.
I cannot wait.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
I can't
but
believe we didn't
You're
make
going to
that.
have to DC with me, okay? It's going to
Oh,
happen.
I almost said I don't have anything DC. Oops, Bane. Whoopsie.
So John, really quick.
I'm going to DC, so you're DCing
I know you
with me.
only had one day really, but like what was as your first convention and first Megacon, like what was your kind of standout moment today?
That I have two.
Oh, you
I
have
have
two? That's good.
I have two.
He does.
Meeting my part-time husband. I've declared that today.
Your new
as
part-time
my
husband.
new
Zach
part-time
Levy.
husband, Zach Levy. And meeting
The evil queen, 'cause
the
he's
evil queen,
gorgeous.
Lana Parrilla.
Yeah.
She was and getting her
She's so
autograph,
sweet.
and that was just. and
They had,
having
like, a
this
good
whole talk-
conversation, right?
We had a whole talk about Stitch, so of course I was in my element, and you know her friend next to her showed me her Stitch tattoo, and we all kind of.
We just chilled casually.
And, yeah, we're
like,
like
talked about
besties
Stitch.
now. We're like Facebook friends, and that's not true. I wish. But,
Official.
I know we were talking about meetups, cosplay meetups. I know that one of our favorite moments collectively. So we're critters. proud
Good
critters.
day, critters.
But for anyone who doesn't know, it's Critical Role. It's a Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah, 'cause I was about to say, are you
podcast.
talking about the horror movie? Because
No,
I'm totally down
no,
with
we're
that.
not.
I thought it was a new way to call them furries. But my bad.
By
I am
the
not up to
way,
speed.
Jess has a side note on that. Well, there was a
Critters' new
whole horror film screenings, which is brand new for them here. So I don't know if we could talk about that on
They
another
did,
time.
they did it last year too.
Yeah, but this was
Yeah.
But yeah, Critical
big
Role
one.
is a
But let's
Dungeons
get
and
back to
Dragons
Critical
podcast by a lovely team of people out in California. Critical Role, look them up if you haven't. They're all about empowering yourself through. It's basically exactly our message, but specifically just with Dungeons and Dragons, and the fact that it's something that they unintentionally did. They
Yeah.
just were a group of kids.
a bunch of nerdy.
Yeah, they
I
are
can't say it.
self-proclaimed a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors.
She said it.
I'm quoting.
It's a real quote.
So
A bunch of nerdy ass voice actors coming together to play Dungeons and Dragons.
So yeah, there was a meetup. I've never seen in general. Maybe it's,
love
I don't think it's
for
because
love,
I've never paid
man.
attention. I've never seen as many Dungeons and Dragons tables and
No.
die and
Never.
so many things down on the expo hall floor. Like it was crazy. It was
Everywhere we
dangerous
got a chance.
because
Yeah.
so many die. But I've
So many
also
die?
Pulled you out,
so many
right?
die.
Die like
Die.
dice or dice?
Dice.
Dice.
Plural of dice.
I'm
Well,
sorry, I have the horror mentality
If
because
you,
of the
but
critters.
we are talking Dungeons and Dragons, so unfortunately it does happen.
Yeah.
It does.
Does that mean I can say I survived Comic-Con
Rest
2019?
in peace,
Yeah.
Molly.
Megacon.
Megacon 20, you have
Megacon
yes.
2019, sorry.
Megacon 2019, he did survive. So, also Critical Role has a very large worldwide fan base, and they're known worldwide as the most positive. And I say this as a multi-fandom nerd. They have the most positive fan base I have ever encountered.
Yes.
Because their cosplayers and their artists are all embracive. That meetup up there, they were the sweetest people, and they were just always like, come here, like, come in the photo, like,
Every single time somebody
And-
came out, we're like, oh, everybody stop, come on.
yeah,
Come on.
like they
Oh my
were
God, like-
the sweetest, and their meetup, like, it was the first time Critical Role really had the critters had a meetup in Orlando
Yeah,
for
it was,
Megacon.
actually.
So it was really beautiful. We were probably going to be doing a podcast with Critters Orlando based soon. And it was just really wonderful to see that positivity like radiate its way out into the world, because it's something that all of us that our critters only experience digitally. So to see something have that community come out into like real life
something.
in person is beautiful. And Ashford was there. She saw some of those cosplays and she's just like, oh my god, like
They were
these are
amazing.
Yeah.
anyone
That's
who
awesome.
would have walked by would have been like, what is this? Like their artists are phenomenal. And now you have another one because you had a moment that we didn't even get to know what moment happened with the lovely Sean Astin.
Well, one of my absolute favorite moments was attending the Critical Role meetup, because
Yes, collectively.
we are trying very much to bring that to the MegaCon experience. So MegaCon, if you're hearing us, please bring the Critical Role cast here. It will really be a life-changing thing for so many people. So do try and
Your
do that.
audience will like grow intensely.
You have
Like,
no
God,
idea
it's
how much you will
crazy.
grow.
But Sean Astin.
I've spent, I had wanted to meet a very few people in my life. I am a huge DC fan in the long run, but my life and a collective experience, my entire family, has been the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Tolkien world, which we're working on our Cellar Door podcast with Louis Lacow here, and it's really very much embedded in my DNA. So last year we got to meet Elijah Wood. And I didn't,
I
think
lost
that
my eye. I lost. I got.
you
lost.
got lost in
We
his
all got
eyes.
lost in his
I can't
eyes.
even
Like
muster the words still.
Still, 1 year later, and you don't understand what it is to look into that man's eyes. I just couldn't even
You
express
see
to
into
you.
the soul
Yeah, you do.
immediately.
But he
Like,
sees
Would
into
you
your
say
soul.
that they are precious?
Yes. Oh, geez, the puns. The puns.
Somebody had to. Nobody was stepping up on that one.
Leave it to William.
Leave it to William. So, two of my favorite experiences for this con was meeting Zach Levy, who we've adored as a
Very
trio.
tall
My
man.
son, my daughter, and myself now forever. What a gentle
He's
giant.
Did you see his panel?
I
No, we couldn't
couldn't.
make
Oh my God, his panel was so good. And he spent the whole entire time just gushing on and on about how awesome all these things have been in his life, and he touched on like a lot of topics, and people would ask him stuff direct, and he shared about hard things he'd gone through, and he also you good on time?
It's almost 30 minutes.
That's
Okay.
good. Keep going.
He was just very talked about having joy in your life and trying to
'Cause that's what he
impress
said,
upon
Tom.
people
Exactly,
to
yeah.
not feel bad, to try to feel young, try to feel happy, or look for things. And you have those bad moments too, or get angry or whatever. But then he says people point that out to him, that you're just so silly all the time. And he could have towards the close of his panel, he was talking about people should, when you get older and you don't have time or energy or patience to be silly, and you should just once in a while find it in you to be silly. Just have a little bit of fun about something once in a while. It'll make you even feel better. And he talked about not so much like,
Which is what I love
he
about
says he
Theramin,
believes
too.
that there's a creator. So he talked about
It's a lot about
God in a sense, but somebody asked him about a line, something I'm spacing now, about pearly gates and saying, what would you say? But it was in response to a character that he did. I don't know why I'm forgetting now.
It's okay.
Peter, whatever, but
Yeah.
and he was saying that he didn't focus on, I love him so much, because just personal, I don't believe in hell. Sorry, whoever does, and I don't. And I loved his response to saying that he didn't think that, not that God wasting time on certain things, but to say, like, if we, instead of spending your life focusing on, are you going to make the cut? Are you going to get to the pearly gates? Or are you going to... Why don't you just be about the joy that you have and the happy things and good things? Do it because it makes things good right now.
Yeah.
And you will make the future better by focusing on being happy and bringing your joy to yourself, but to others around you, and what's best for everyone, but what's also take care of yourself. And I just thought that was so cool. I almost cried. And this girl...
Motivational.
She cried. She was crying, telling him how much she thought he was just such a genuine, special person.
Beautiful.
And that was his response to that too.
Aww.
Like, we should all just try to be.
You know,
that was like that
That's a
outstanding
perfect
moment of
segue,
all
though.
the panels.
That's perfect.
That's a perfect segue, because that's what cons are all about. It's about community. It's about coming together like we all do. And with all the different groups, every single day we meet up with different groups and we hang out with them. But you run into somebody suddenly that you hadn't seen in a year. It's like you never skipped a beat. It's right there, and then you could go right back to that moment that you were last
Community.
year.
And that is perfect, because like I was gonna say before, like this Megacon has been one, like the best Megacon I've been to.
Yeah.
And it's
In terms of
not
community.
not just like for the experience and the community, but I've moved to New York since the last Megacon. I haven't seen you guys on a regular basis like I used to, but just walking the floor and like seeing people or hearing my name being called and gravitating with each other, running into like it's like
Connection.
I ran into more people without being trying to like, where are you, than like when people like be like, where are you, and it made me feel so much at home again, like, and like you said, like I
But you
hadn't
got
been
to
gone.
experience with us,
But the
because
fact
you
that
saw us.
everybody took
Yeah.
time to stop and say
connect
hi to
with
each
people.
other, met new people, made new friends.
Yeah.
It's great.
This
And-
is
and
John's first experience getting that actually at all, and
Mm-hmm.
I think you can kind of
Yeah.
talk to that, the fact that we were constantly running
Yeah,
into
it was
somebody,
always
and,
running into constantly, and that's the great thing about the
I
community.
introduced you to so many people that
I
you've
know.
never actually gotten to meet.
You know what? And another small word, like I'm a Jasmine Beckett Griffith fan,
Oh,
the
yeah.
artist, and then I've been collecting the pins. And then apparently there's a whole pin trading collecting world, so I had to get all into that. We don't have time. Good Lord.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to run into the same
So you
fans and you
found
see each other. That was
a
kind
new
of like we
community.
only see each other when we go to like
Cons.
an event that
Right.
Jasmine's at or something. So that was really cool.
that
I was
community,
like,
that
wow.
connection, definitely.
That
So I
and the
think-
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think to
So
wrap up, what was your quick best experience or person that you experienced?
So I know that Joe T wanted
Well,
me to
kinda
talk
just-
about
Yeah,
mine.
she
I
was
mean, we
last one to
did,
go,
but
yeah.
for me, obviously I was like going into my experience with Sean Astin because of how important it has always been, and as you know, it's still important. So I had a very unexpected. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, to say we waited a long time to see him.
Very long time.
and almost didn't. She almost didn't stay, and then unexpected.
convinced her.
Everyone was like, no, you have to hurry up. He's really, really, really quick. And then we talked to him. He wrote the note of
positive
it,
message.
the positive message that we always do, which was there is some good in this world. obviously.
I didn't even read it. That's to tell you how mesmerized I was in those moments.
And he talked about how his wife and how she makes a choice. It's all about a choice, making a choice every day. How much loss she's gone through and grief that she still goes through, but she makes a choice every single day. And I don't know what it was. There's some connection or what happened, but they took a moment. He called her back, actually.
Yeah, he actually called me back to the table. And I won't share it. Normally I share everything with you guys. I really do, but it was extremely personal. And I couldn't. For me, he had to have seen whatever it was through my eyes. In the moment that I went to shake his hands, when everyone was leaving the table, and he pulled me back over, and he said, "I will tell you this." He said, "I love you. I love who you are. I know it's strange that I'm saying that to you." He said, "But I can see your soul, and I can see who you are, and I want you to know this." And he went on to tell me everything. And in those moments is when you saw him embrace me. That's what you guys were seeing. And he held me the entire time.
Yeah, it was a good couple minutes.
And he was telling me something very, 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 very specific.
That's incredible.
I didn't ask him for any of that.
Yeah, that was...
Not
we
at
had
all.
literally all
We'd
walked
already
away.
left.
And then we were like, what? And we turned around and she was still there, and he was hugging her. And we were like, oh, okay.
He was telling...
That's amazing.
It was almost like the spiritual bond. Now, I'm not kidding you when I say that, because I
teary-eyed.
think you understand. Huh?
I think you're getting teary-eyed. But yeah, no, it's definitely...
No, I'm losing my voice, actually. But
I think it kind of actually lends really quick, I know not on topic, but to the connection that the fellowship actually had. As actors, you can tell that there's really that personality about all of them as actors.
And it's anybody that does like a series. Say like
Oh my
even
God,
if
we
it's
met
just Lord of the
3
Rings,
out of
it's
the
Harry
4
Potter as
now.
well. It's
When
all
we're
the other
together-
series.
We met all 4. Oh
Sorry.
my God! Wait, revelation moment. Sorry, guys.
We've met all the hobbits.
We met all the hobbits.
Yes.
Sorry, I apologize. Go ahead. Sorry.
One does not simply meet all the hobbits.
So I think it's a wonderful thing having that friendship and that bond throughout
That's amazing.
multiple years of filmmaking and stuff like that, like the Harry Potter series or the Lord of the Rings series, and that creates that same bond that, just like Nisha said, you're able to see into people's eyes. Actors are able to see that. That's one of the reasons that they're able to portray different people's characters. And an actor like Sean Astin, he's a freaking amazing actor. And you could tell that he puts his heart and soul into each of the roles that he plays.
Such a
Oh my
sweet
God.
man.
From Rudy to
go ahead,
Lord of the
go ahead.
Rings.
He's a nice guy. When he left the table at the end of the day, he started signing all the crew's t-shirts.
Yeah, I saw on the shirts, on the
Yeah, he was
arms.
signing everyone.
Wow.
Then he left. He was
That's
like,
beautiful.
bye to everyone. He was so nice.
That's wonderful.
That's incredible.
I would have taken off my
If
shirt
you don't
right then
mind.
and there. Be like,
Yeah,
I'm off
I
the
know.
clock. I'm done. Just throw it out.
So we have a bigger team than usual with us doing our con wrap up. So I know we're running a little bit longer than normal. So thank you
just
all
have
for
to
sticking
edit
with
some of
us.
those out.
We will not edit that out. So thank you for sticking with us. I'm going to do a quick rapid fire, if you don't mind, as your favorite find for everyone, but quick, literally just this thing.
I would say like favorite find was by pure accident. I did Otho today, and I found a beautiful pin, which is actually I was walking around with Miss Argentina, and it's a Miss Argentina pin, which is absolutely beautiful.
And for you.
Oh,
Quick find.
the whole pin
whole
thing. We're
pins,
not getting
all of
into
them?
it. No, not all.
Oh, it's a huge
no, we got
story,
3.
but it was an incredible
We got
story.
3 pins, so yeah, I'm glad. I'm lucky I got all of them.
We might have you on to talk about it another time.
I found
It's
my
a
favorite
huge
find.
story.
It's right
Thank you
Yes,
for favorite find.
dang.
Yes.
That's what you have to
I'm a
edit.
dank find.
You found a
William.
bombshell artist. You found
Yes,
a guy.
I got to meet the bombshell writer, and I was super excited. And I told her, please never stop, because I love it way too much.
Yes.
It has pin-up, it has an amazing story, it's everything that I can ask for. So I'm like, please never
Was
stop.
that your favorite find?
Yes, and then the ticket stuff, and then everything that I found. But that was the
Everything.
main one, number one.
Aaron, did you have anything favorite find?
Oh yeah, there was a back signal which changed lights, and the poster of Batman and Joker. Oh yeah, that was good.
Nice.
Like half a price actually.
Did you here? Aaron!
John,
Next
I know.
time!
Favorite find
Next time!
is
Okay,
right
sorry.
here.
Of course, it has
That's
to
my favorite of his
It's
find.
beautiful. I love
and I'm gonna steal it.
this artist's rendition.
Probably.
It's not still. It's relocating. Remember, it's
Need to have a mural of it put up on the wall.
You don't understand.
Yeah, most likely this isn't going to be
You
his
just
for
don't
very long.
understand. This is Gojira.
Yes, it
This
is.
is my life. This is.
You like Godzilla?
Okay, that's a topic for another day.
Kaiju love.
Okay, now you
my
gotta be friends.
Still.
So,
Wait,
you guys,
John,
speaking of,
what was your favorite find?
Hold on, hold
well,
on.
I was gonna say, well,
Let's go.
Hers is
John,
crazy.
John, yeah.
Before the
I
You didn't
didn't
get anything.
I didn't get it because
got the
I had
soda.
to
That
control
was-
myself. But I found these Wizarding World wands, and they were very uniquely made, and they would make them based on, like, you would get your wand based on your day and month of birth and your eye color. And I think your niece got them.
Huh.
But they were
Oh,
gorgeous.
she did? What?
And I didn't buy
I didn't
one.
know that.
She,
Yeah,
it
they are
was
beautiful.
She
at
got
the end.
artwork and she got
They are
stuff.
At the end.
Oh my god.
I
I can
was
see that.
torn
Yours.
away from that because I had to curb myself a little bit, but it was
Yeah, you know, you just made
beautiful.
a very,
proud
a
of you,
very,
man.
a very
Stop
big dip
planning
into your
for it.
pocket.
Proud of you. You're so
So-
proud of you.
Did you get anything?
You know what, guys? This is my first con. I
She
have
didn't
bought
buy
not
anything.
one thing.
That's because I bought her thing.
Because she bought everything.
Yes,
It
I
has
bought.
never
rare
happened,
thing,
as
indeed.
you well know. So,
And
Danny
I tried
Haas.
too. I tried because I was
Actually
looking for.
tried to buy.
I walked around the past 2 hours looking for a Game of Thrones shirt because I got one Game of Thrones shirt. I'm like, I'm gonna get a nice one. The series is ending. You know, could not find the one that I like.
You know,
I found your
Walked around
niffler.
looking for pops.
I did too. I looked around for Game of Thrones stuff, not
I didn't
for
even
myself.
think about that.
But
You
there
were what
wasn't
Pop
really that
said.
much this year. It's crazy. It's weird
I
that there
found
wasn't
a
a lot of Game of
life-size
Thrones.
niffler.
Somebody was cosplaying
huge
it.
person.
I don't think I could choose one
I
thing.
see it.
Danny,
Wow.
no,
Well, she
Danny
got
Haas.
me something.
I got her many things,
Yes.
actually.
Wait. I
Danny
did
Haas.
get my pin,
Where's the
which is
pin?
not on me. But
I'm going to keep saying his name, Danny Haas.
Danny Haas.
Beautiful artist.
HAAS people, please.
He actually has a set of Hamilton pins that are gorgeous. His pins are like unlike any other pins you will ever encounter in your life. His Hamilton pins, gorgeous. I got the David Diggs, the one that says immigrants we
Immigrants,
get the job done. Um,
I saw that too.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yes.
saw it
Beautiful.
on.
Oh, you saw
this
his too?
display.
Yes, wonderful. I think that's pretty much that's a great wrap up
I
for
wanted
us.
to say too, Dan Fogler. He
Fogler?
also went on and on about how
He's
he
an amazing find.
loved his
He's an amazing
job
find.
and how grateful he was.
He
and
did,
how
did
much
he not?
the fans make
Yeah.
a difference
He's a fantastic
for him. He was
beast.
giving out tickets to
Yeah.
Regal 40X. I was like to everyone that did the
Aw.
Q&A. I was like, what?
Oh, really?
Heather didn't make
That's
it.
so
She was
nice
too far in
of
line.
him. Well, we left before that. We
Real
left
quick,
before
his,
that. Oh,
his
my
favorite
God.
animal, he said, was, oh no, from Fantastic Beast, was,
Niffler?
no.
No,
And he
yeah.
said not the Niffler because he would steal things all the time and tear everything up and he wouldn't be able to keep up with it. It starts with a G, that walks with that he gets go into the future.
Oh, yeah. I'll think of it. Oh, my God. Sacrilegious.
Comment what it is.
So,
We
okay.
don't know, but not the name.
But I just thought that was kind of cool that it.
So
that
ready
was
to
the
wrap
animal.
up. This is some of the beautiful artwork that Lewis found over the weekend, and oh my
I swore I
God.
wasn't going to spend money, but then I saw these things and
That's
I
what I said too.
Oh my
we
God.
both said the same.
Just absolutely gorgeous. She picked up a lot of Critical Role. She got me new dice, guys.
I did.
She
That was
couldn't
my first
help it.
purchase.
It was
I
her
didn't even
first
get them
purchase.
from me. No, okay, Diverse the Geek. You can find us on all social media platforms. Sorry.
And you can find us at Manbitesmedia,
Manbite-
manbitesfilm.com.
And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably already know where to find it, but you can find it other places as well. Or if you're watching this video, you can find our podcast on podcast streaming sites.
Every one of them, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we will speak about the Linda Carter experience at a separate show, in
Yep.
case you want to know why we didn't talk about
Speaking
it
of
today.
Godzilla, keep up for that. That's
And
going to be a
then
thing that we do.
Gojira is one of
about
our
that.
next meetups, by the way.
Thank you for joining us.
It's a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Bye from Megacon 2019.
I love you, 3000.